Hello, it's Tamara Hunter, and today is second show. However, it's day number 137 of 365 days of awesome. Celebrate success through service. And yes, your eyes are not deceiving you. I am recognizing Michael Landon today, as our service hero. Please listen to me and hear why. I spent the afternoon lunchtime with a very dear friend of his, actually his agent, Bruce Marin. I want to show. He was the host of the luncheon that I spoke at today. Um, he was Michael's agent, yes, but he was also Michael's friend. And we were talking about him, Michael Landon, today because many of you, I'm sure, know that Michael Landon actually had cancer. He actually died of stage 4 pancreatic cancer. And thank you, PJ. Thank you. I think so too. His birthday was actually today. Little did I know that until I started doing some research. I had the idea as I left the Sterling Club today because we were talking, Bruce and I, towards the latter part of the event, and we were talking about Chemo Buddies for Life. And he said, Michael is smiling down right now. I got teary-eyed because Michael Landon was one of my favorite actors. Yes, I am a child of the period of time in which he acted. In fact, more than that, let me tell you. First of all, many of you know he was Little Joe on Bonanza. And Bonanza actually ran back from 1959 into the early 1970s. And it was actually filmed in Lake Tahoe in Incline Village. It just so happens that I'm a product of Lake Tahoe. Yes, my natural parents eloped there. I was a honeymoon baby, and our family has homes up in that area, Incline Village. So as I was growing up, or as I was younger, we would actually drive by what was the set at one time. It's no longer there, or not very much of it any longer. But little did I know the connections that would later someday be made. And I started really thinking about this. Okay, so Lake Tahoe, his early in his career. In fact, I have a picture or two from that period of time. I think I captured, possibly not. This was during that period of time. Towards the latter part, I believe. Oh, no, here we go. Let me get that. I want to be clear with this because this is a little emotional for me, guys. Okay, here we go. Little Joe from Bonanza. That was his character. All right, so then the story goes. He goes on and he portrays from some of my favorite books. He is Little House on the Prairie, and he is the father from the Little House. And that show ran from let's see, I think I wrote it down, 1974 to 1983. That goes along in the right time because I'm in, early teens and into, not so early teens. I actually had my first child at the tail end of that. So I loved that show. Loved it. Then we go on, and he's in his next show from 84 to 89. And many of you will know what that is. Highway to Heaven. I loved that show. That was my show. I had to fight for the TV. Not really fight, but I loved it so much, and I wanted to catch every single one of those episodes and just devour them. They were just something that I so totally related to, loved everything about it. So then to find out, he ends up having the fight of his life. He is diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, and he ends up going on. Bruce Marion was sharing with me today. He goes, "Yeah, he found out about it. Then he said we need to book on Johnny Carson." He goes on to Johnny Carson and does the last Johnny Carson show, and after the Johnny Carson show, they do a group hug, and Bruce is sharing all of this with me, and I'm in absolute tears. And he's going on about Chemo Buddies for Life and about the fact that Bruce had just this month filmed for a London organization. This is a screenshot from his interview on ITV Studio Network out of the UK, and it will be airing here at some time soon throughout Europe. And he talks about Michael Landon and Michael Landon's legacy, Michael Landon himself. And he then talked about Michael Landon's daughter and how he had shared what it is that we're doing with Chemo Buddies for Life. And she agreed with him that he most likely is smiling upon us. So I, not to get weepy about this, but it was like, wow, here I had just spoke to the lunchtime group about Chemo Buddies for Life and about how no one should face cancer alone, how we should all have a buddy, how we are not just a national organization, we are becoming an international organization, and we are having our very first fundraiser that is going to be held here in Las Vegas, because yes, I'm from Southern California, but I feel the love here. And so we are having it on Giving Tuesday, November the 27th. And I was talking about that. And it was interesting how this whole Highway to Heaven thing, show, and the fact that he ends up with pancreatic cancer, finds out about it, and shortly thereafter passes. It was not a long fight that he had, but he had an amazing long career. And through it, he was able to produce shows that our families can watch, that had a good moral to the story. And truly, if you think about it, who knows, maybe because it was such an influence on me, maybe some of the episodes, some of the writings, some of the storylines possibly were so ingested into me that maybe they framed some of the thoughts of what Chemo Buddies is all about. Humor, hope, and heart. And I will tell you, I didn't capture any of the silly pictures, but this man, he had a silliness about him. At least it seemed. I didn't verify it, but it sure seemed as though he enjoyed life. That, no one has had a perfect life. No one. I don't care who you are. I really don't believe that that's the way it works. We're supposed to learn from our lives here on earth. However, with his life, he had one that, when you look back on it, how many years? 27 so years ago he died. And yet his stories live. So in essence, he does. And he lives in our hearts and our minds. And I just absolutely appreciate the fact that today, sitting there with Bruce Marin, someone that knew him so well, shared that he would be smiling upon. And in fact, this is the flyer from today. Bruce Marin was the host. And so there's 1 degree of separation. And it really means a lot to me. And my mission, our mission, the Buddy mission, that no one faces cancer alone, and what we're doing. And so then Bruce Marin and Margie Shepherd, pictured here with Miss Bobs and myself from the last lunch. They got up and they gave a gift to the program that we're going to be having, the fundraiser that we're going to be having on the 27th. And I cannot wait to be able to share more information about this. But what they are gifting is for the chemo buddies themselves are these beautiful jeweled headbands that the chemo buddies that have wigs. I didn't wear one. One of the reasons is they slipped on me. And I didn't want to wear all the layers that you needed to wear to be able to have it not slip. And so these really beautiful jeweled bands for an event can actually hold the wig in place. And I thought, how wonderful. So they're gifting that for the chemo buddies. And then they told me about, and I'm going to be getting more information, that there is a beautiful designer gown, one of only 4 that I guess were made in this design by this particular very well-known designer. And Margie's going to wear it that evening, and then it's going to be auctioned off. And the proceeds, 100% of the proceeds will be going to Chemo Buddies for Life so that we can finally build out our platform so that no one will face cancer alone. I had people even last night in the middle of the night getting a hold of me saying they need a buddy. Right now we're manually putting together buddies, and I don't mind that at all. I'll do that all day long, all night long, because no one should face cancer alone. That's the patient and those people that love and support them. And so, but once we get these funds, guys, we are going to have our platform so that anybody, 24/7, 365 days of awesome, will be able to have their own buddy and much more than that. And we have so many other programs that are getting ready to be, we have them. We just need to be able to fund them. So I want to thank Bruce Marin and Margie Shepherd there. And I'm going to bring up one more picture of Bruce Marin. I want to thank him, that wonderful smile. Thank you for inviting me to be a part of the Sterling Club Business Networking Lunch today. Thank you for sharing such a wonderful spirit with me and sharing the thought that Michael Landon, that took his highway to heaven, would be smiling upon our program, Chemo Buddies for Life, and what it is that we're all about, because we do not want anyone to face cancer alone. So as I end, I want to recognize the fact that there's been a lot of people that have been here. In fact, Dimple is one of our 4 Chemo Buddies for Life that we're working very hard. And if anybody can help us, please let me know. If anybody knows anybody with the airlines or the hotels, I'm here in Vegas until I can get this done. But we're trying to get 4 of our amazing chemo buddies to represent our whole community, which we are actually pretty large, but we will be huge when this is done. Because when someone hears those words, hopefully someday they won't, but you have cancer or someone they know has cancer, the next thing they're going to say is, go get your buddy. Don't do it alone. And they're going to know that Chemo Buddies for Life are there for them no matter what type of treatment, traditional, adjunctive, alternative, or whatever else they choose to do it. As long as they know that that is the right choice for them, our only stand for it is that you don't do it alone. So Dimple is one of our 4 that we're trying to get to our fundraiser. So if anybody can help make that happen, plane trip tickets, anything. We want to have a VIP experience for 4 very, very deserving chemo buddies that each have a heartwarming story that will get you, just like Michael Landon's story. Charlie, aloha. PJ, amen, yes. And Charles, thank you. Thank you. I love the love. And, thank you about you this weekend. Anyway, get a hold of me. Any way you can help, we need the help. Aaron, thank you for being a service hero. Thank you for being who you are out of Utah. And Aaron knows she's a service hero. And her children's grandfather, she told me about him. Amazing man. Sounds like amazing in his community. And he ended up having cancer. And it really, yes, let's talk, Charles and Aaron, her children's grandfather, it leaves a mark. When Bruce and I were talking today, it's been 27 years, roughly, that Michael Landon passed, and yet it was so fresh. I have any airline buddies. Okay, I have any airline buddies. Yeah, anybody that has any kind of, we'll take many degrees of separation of anybody that knows anybody that can help us out with this, because I will put their logo everywhere. Anybody that has, it's called cause marketing. And we are an excellent nonprofit, because it goes straight to our buddies and we film everything. You guys basically hear from me every day. I'm totally accountable, and I'm a Girl Scout. Think of, I guess you can even say, think of the kind of shows that I love. These are my shows. And Michael Landon was one of my very favorite, still is. So I want to end by saying thank you for spending this evening with me, everyone. This is his birthday. He was born on October 31st. Little did I know when I started doing the research that this was his birthday. Possibly Bruce remembered. Probably he did. He just maybe didn't say anything. Here's a plaque. I think it's that gives his dates of birth, his date of death, how he will be remembered. I just remember him as a really amazing person that visited with me I was a bit of a shut-in as I grew up, and I off and on. And so he always had that amazing face, that amazing smile, an amazing spirit about him. So as we end today's remembrance, as a service hero, no doubt, he still is. His legacy remains a service hero's legacy. And his service hero day is 137. So as we end day number 137 of 365 days of awesome, celebrate success through service, I want to say thank you for being who you were here in this world, and thank you for my beliefs being who you still are beyond. You've paved a road for many of us, and in doing so, hopefully, it's just made it that smoother, much more. Someday we will all go there. Someone said it. I don't remember where I was. I've been all over the place lately, but one of the sure things is that someday we will all be taking that last road from this world to this next world. Whatever your beliefs are, I respect your beliefs, absolutely. Mine are that I will be going on to somewhere that I feel that I see that light there, and I'm like, okay, yeah, that looks pretty welcoming. I'm okay with that. So as we end, I want to say thank you for being the service hero, Michael Landon, that you were here on this earth, and thank you for, even that image right there. I know it's something from that's from Hollywood, that's from the, TV. However, working with Chemo Buddies for Life and working in the subject matter that I do, that is a reassuring picture. And I'm grateful that we have it. So that's my thought. It was interesting putting this together because I did get emotional at different times, and I thought, can I pull this off? And I hope I did. I hope I gave an appropriate service heroes award, an honor to a man that I truly always appreciated. Have a safe evening for those that are still in the Halloween day evening time, and I will see everyone tomorrow. Until then, bye.